They asked for 2 crores maintenance.
2 crores monthly maintenance.
And then
500 crores compensation.
crores, my lord, compensation under section 22.
You did raise your hands in me, and if you don't remember, you put a gun on my head. Now I've read the provisions.
Where did this happen?
All of this is sufficient to, one, show mental cruelty, physical cruelty. Thirdly, economically draining her out, completely stating you will not have a penny.
One of the points that we have raised, apart from the fact, my lord, that the marriage has been dissolved in accordance with the Russian law, even when your lordship looks at the averments in the petition that has been filed before the DV court, all the allegations are with respect to what has happened in Dubai. Now, the question that I place for your lordship's consideration is, the point that I place for your lordship's consideration is, in respect of acts, because we are in a 482, my lord, I will assume that whatever is said in the complaint is true. In respect of acts alleged to have taken place in Dubai, is a petition before the Bangalore court maintainable is a question. And in this regard, my lord, that's why, my lord, I want to show to your lordship what is the summum bonum of their complaint before, or the petition before the DV court. It is that in Dubai all this happened. And then, my lord, it will be my submission that their filing a petition here, coming, and even if they were staying for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days in Bangalore, they were birds of passage. She was a bird of passage. I am not using this term, my lord. Supreme Court uses that word. That you can't say you will take a hotel room and then say, I am residing there. My lord, that's what happened, my lord, in Delaware, in the United States. I am told, my lord, it is easy to get divorce. That it is very easy to get a divorce because the law in that state, my lord, allows that. So, my lord, people from different state where it is difficult to get a divorce because of the law of that state, go, my lord, and take a hotel room and then show that as the address and then get a decree. When that type of a decree which was obtained in a Nevada court was put before the Hon'ble Supreme Court here, saying that the marriage has been dissolved, Supreme Court said, you are a bird of passage. Therefore, we will not recognize that decree. My lord, insofar as the respondent here is concerned, insofar as the Bangalore court is concerned, she is a bird of passage. And therefore, my lord, I want to show to your lordships the averments in the petition that has been filed, which is very material.
Vikram sir has read it out.
There are, if it is shown, my lord, I will not repeat
Paragraph
it.
8, I'll tell you.
I will show. Yes. My lord, I'm told, my lord, that paragraph 3, 4, and 6 have already been shown to your lordships.
Yes.
Therefore, I am not going to repeat it.
Yes.
I'm going to show to your lordships a few other paragraphs, which according to me, my lord, would be material. That is very crucial. It is further submitted that in the year 2021,
Yes.
the respondent had placed African American securities at the entrance of the Meadows house and installed CCTV cameras inside the house. It is further submitted that upon arrival of the Meadows house in Dubai, my lord, and the allegation of violence, domestic violence is there,
Yes.
is supposed to have happened in that place. It is further submitted that upon arrival of the petitioner from a business trip, the said African-American securities prevented her from entering into her own house, obstructing her entry in an intimidating manner. The said act of the henchman hired by the respondent made the petitioner fear for her life and limb and left a deep psychological scar in the mind of the petitioner. It is further submitted that the petitioner could not enter into her own house and was allowed to enter only once. It is further submitted that the respondent had kept the petitioner's daughter out of the country on the pretext of her job, and when both the petitioner and her daughter traveled together, respondent had taken over the house and placed CCTV cameras in every nook and corner, including the bedrooms and common areas of the house. The daughter, my lord, here referred to is the daughter of the respondent through some other relationship. She sees there's that.
Some other relation?
Yes. Yes, my lord. She doesn't say.
Not the daughter born from this wedlock. Not from this wedlock.
No. In fact, the divorce, my lord, that is granted is premised on the footing that the marriage did not, there was no offspring from this marriage. Because, my lord, the Dubai consulate, the Russian consulate in Dubai will get authority and jurisdiction only if from the marriage there are no children.
Oh, that's the,
That's the requirement of that law. That's what your lordship saw in that legal opinion
Yes,
given
yes.
by the lawyer.
yes.
No, madam, she is a daughter. In fact, she doesn't say which relationship also. She says from another relationship. Whatever, madam. I'm not going into all that. I'm not relevant. Not relevant. I'm not going.
Whether she says or not, you are aware. So leave it. Yes.
I'm not. Yes. In any event, madam, what is material? I wanted to point out that this is not a daughter born out of this marriage. That is all that is relevant for the purpose of this case. It is further submitted that the respondent had kept the petitioner's daughter out of the country on the pretext of her job, and when both the petitioner and the daughter traveled together, respondent had taken over the house and placed CCTV cameras in every nook and corner, including the bedrooms and common areas of the house. Additionally,
Yes.
placing 3 African-American security guards to the house. It is further submitted that the respondent had informed the petitioner's daughter to pack her belongings in Bangalore and to return all her work equipment such as laptops, namely one MacBook. It is further submitted that when the petitioner and daughter were allowed to enter into her house, petitioner was barely allowed to rest and was not even allowed to freshen up as her belongings were kept packed in boxes. It is further submitted that the petitioner and her daughter were not allowed to consume food and were kept under hard, dire and threatening conditions with 3 African-American security guards in the house round the clock.
Where?
All this is in Meadows. All this is in Meadows, my lord.
Yes.
That's why, my lord, I'm finding out, assuming everything is true, I ask myself, how does it become a domestic violence for the purpose of the DV Act here? It is further submitted. It is that the petitioner was made to follow the directions and dictum issued by henchmen hired by the respondent. Petitioner, being a title holder of the house, was put under command of African-American security guards who dictated every move in the house and screened all the visitors for their IDs, which caused great embarrassment and caused the petitioner to suffer severe mental trauma. It is further submitted that there was an unidentified gentleman in the house on watch, assumingly from law enforcement, given the respondent's financial position and political influence in the vicinity.
Political influence?
Manoj,
Political influence
anta avaru helodu.
in Dubai.
That's what they are saying. Yes. Yes, that's what they're saying. It is further submitted that 3 days subsequent to this event, petitioner was wrongfully confined in her own house, with every move and conversation being recorded and tracked by the respondent. Your Lordship may kindly turn to page 47, line number 8. It is further submitted that the petitioner and her daughter at Meadows house spent sleepless nights by keeping their life on the hand with 3 unknown African-American henchmen deployed by the respondent. The petitioner and the daughter were locked inside the room and threatened by the henchmen to sign on certain blank sheets of paper, failing which they put the life of the petitioner and the daughter under dire consequences. When the petitioner declined to sign the blank papers, petitioner and the daughter had to face unpleasantness, humiliation, torture, and life threat, which shows the respondent's arrogance and atrocity towards women through henchmen. It is further submitted that the petitioner and daughter were left behind in the Meadows house by the respondent after the respondent had taken petitioner's jewels from the aforementioned safe. It is further submitted that the petitioner had spent a full month under supervision of cameras installed by the respondent in the house, and additionally with 3 African-American security guards on watch round the clock, the petitioner and daughter faced severe mental pressure and a gross invasion of their private space and privacy. It is further submitted that petitioner and the daughter reluctantly decided to move out to the Meadows house as they could not bear the gross invasion of privacy and, more importantly, the life threat posed by the intimidating African-American security guards. It is further submitted the petitioner was threatened with dire consequences if she were to file a police report in Dubai
against
the respondent. Respondent threatened the petitioner that if
the complaint is registered in Dubai?
No. Yenu madila bro. I showed your lordship, he comes today to Bangalore, tomorrow institutes a petition for restitution of conjugal rights, next day files a petition under 125, third day files a DV case, goes off.
Back to Dubai.
This is what you have done. All this in 3 days is over now. Lord, this is clear abuse of process of court. I mean, in fact, my lord,
No, we are only examining whether the petitioner for under the domestic section 12 of the Act
Yes.
is maintainable for the reliefs that they are.
maintainable is one issue. Second is it an abuse of process of court?
Only if it is abuse process of law. If I come to that conclusion, only then I can entertain this.
Yes. No, man, there are 2 ways. One is if on the basis of the allegations in the complaint, it does not constitute, the DV Act does not apply. That is one ground. Secondly, taking the totality of circumstances and reading in between the lines, which is what your lordships will do, my lord, when all these complaints are filed day in and day out. And today, my lord, I saw something on bar and bench also. In a matter, my lord, his lordship Justice Gawai sitting with two of the, of course, it's an observation, not that he has said the act which is totally misused in this country is the DB Act.
Huh.
Of course, it's a statement that was made. I'm just not that it has any bearing on the judicial aspect of the case.
Yes.
Then, my lord, now, my lord, kindly see para 15, your lordship.
That I have seen.
Your lordship.
It is not shown. Yes. It's all right. Both body, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
It is submitted that after the said confrontation with the respondent, petitioner has been ill-treated by arrogance and sadist character of the respondent, but petitioner has tolerated all cruelty meted out by respondent for the sake of maintaining cordial family relationship with the fond hope. The respondent will correct himself, but by taking advantage of the same, respondent has tortured, harassed, and humiliated in all aspects since 2019. Then, my lord, then they come to the aspect of how rich the respondent is. The whole object of this is to extract money. Because the rest of it, my lord, is what a wealthy man he is. Now he has got to give me so much of money. Therefore,
Oh, alimony.
that's the prayer, my lord. Plus maintenance. Yes, 2 crores, no?
Alla, compensation.
Illa. They asked for 2 crores
No,
maintenance.
2 crores monthly maintenance.
And then, my lord,
500 crores
6
compensation.
crores, my lord, compensation under section 22.
Will hear the respondent.
Yes. And there are a few authorities that I want to place.
Apart from what they.
My lord,
what
my lord, I want to point out your lordships, my lord, on section 4. Kindly see, my lord, section 4 of the IPC as it then was. In where the law wanted to provide for extraterritorial operation, it specifically said so. Kindly see section 4.
You told me in the beginning.
Yeah, section 4 note
Yes.
of the IPC. ಇದು ಆಮೇಲೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ
ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಹೌದು ಇಲ್ಲ now, my lord, I'm substantiating with reference to the law.
extension of the court.
Yes, to extraterritorial offences, where the lawmakers intended that the law here should apply to acts which are committed outside the country, they specifically said so.
There's no IPC offense here.
Yes, such a provision is absent in DV Act, is what I'm pointing out. My lord, that is the contrast, my lord, that I want to point out, your lordships. In IPC, if I commit an offense outside, it's an offense under the IPC, a person can be tried here. But it is not so with respect to DV Act. Domestic violence committed outside does not attract the provisions of the DV Act within. That's the submission I'm making. Then, my lord, there are a few citations that I want to place for your lordship's consideration. Please see, my lord, there is one judgment that I want to point out to your lordships, my lord, in 1963 Supreme Court, page 1. That is the famous Vishwanathan case, my lord.
Through bird of passage.
No. Bird of passage. No, my lord. Vishwanathan's case is on how section 13 of the CPC has to be construed and how it is to be done. Not for the purpose of birds of passage. I have already shown.
Orders passed by foreign court.
Foreign courts. And your lordships will not look at the order passed by a foreign court with reference to the law in India.
Obviously, yes.
Your lordships will look at the enforceability of a foreign judgment with respect to the law in that country.
Yes.
That is what my lord Vishwanathan case lays down. It is a very famous case, my lord, right from.
And the concept is rudimentary.
My lord.
Concept is rudimentary.
But it has received the attention of
yes.
such.
Yes. Sir.
It's a judgment, my lord, which your lordship may just see these paragraphs, my lord.
19 and 20.
Yes, no, my lord, 2021.
All right.
This is a case where, my lord, Mysore state was a foreign state compared to Bombay. In that context, the enforceability of a judgment of the Mysore court was called in question. Undoubtedly, a court of a foreign country has jurisdiction to deliver a judgment in rem, which may be enforced or recognized in an Indian court, provided the subject matter of the action is property, whether movable or removable within the foreign country. It is also well settled that the court of a foreign country has no jurisdiction to deliver a judgment capable of enforcement or recognition in another country in any proceeding, the subject matter of which is titled to immovable property outside the country. The courts will not deal directly or indirectly with title immovable property outside the jurisdiction of the state from which it derives its authority. And 3, court will not assist in the enforcement within its jurisdiction of foreign penal or revenue laws. The suit filed by the plaintiff was possession of estates disposed of by the will of Ramalingam in para 3 of the plaint in Bangalore District Court suit. That's on the facts. I'm not going
That's
to
on the
tell you
facts, not,
I'm not going.
that's why I said 1920.
Yes, but kindly now see para 24. In an action in personam, the court has jurisdiction to make an order for delivery of movables where the party is submit to the jurisdiction. This is
Yes.
important.
Yes.
A person who institutes a suit in a foreign court and claims a decree in personam cannot, after the judgment is pronounced against him, say that the court had no jurisdiction which he invoked and which the court exercised, for it is well recognized that the party who is present within or who has submitted it to jurisdiction cannot afterwards question it. This is the point. No, this is a case where both of them have gone and done it. And the order of divorce granted, my lord, records that it is a joint application. So, my lord, having regard to the law laid down in para 24 of this judgment, they cannot question it,
All right.
having
We'll,
submitted themselves.
we'll hear the counsel.
Very well, my lord. If there is anything in reply, I'll point.
Anything.
Well-
Because both of you have extensively heard when the matter was taken up on the first time. The first occasion.
And after my learned friend, if my learned friend is going to rely upon any of the subsequent pleadings which has been filed in this case, post the petition that was filed before the DV court, I will point out, my lord, how they have purged themselves.
All right.
Might
Yes,
I
madam.
request your lordship the Domestic Violence Act?
Huh.
3 verbal and emotional abuse includes insults, ridicule, humiliation, name calling, insults, ridicule, especially with regard to not having a child, male child, whatever.
Mm.
Next, repeated threats cause physical harm. Next is economic abuse, which is also something we've raised. Deprivation of all or any economic or financial resources to which the aggrieved person is entitled to under law.
Mm.
The other one is last C, prohibition or restriction to continued access to resources or facilities which the aggrieved person is entitled to use, enjoy by virtue of domestic relationship, including shared household.
Mm.
Now, they try to say that she's staying in a hotel, and probably birds of, I'd rather say paradise. So instead of passage.
Yes.
Lordship, if she's not allowed into her home, and they might find it amusing that we are trying to say that she's under constant threat. But a person who is worth 20,000 crores, as I mentioned to your lordships, that even the zeros that we cannot count, they're extremely powerful in Dubai. Even after her giving her initial complaint, and which proof of which by way of a WhatsApp message, of a message that she received on her phone, which is produced before your lordship, she was told very clearly after that, since there are several cases pending in Bangalore in India, why don't you address it there? After that, they will unwilling to take it up. Your lordship, in fact, I have noticed that even the metro stations there are named after top Indian builders. They have sufficient and tremendous power over there. With respect to her in her the Dubai consulate, there are several occasions when they have gone to the Dubai consulate with respect to issues on passport, several issues, they have gone there. She has also gone there. Now she's unaware of this. Now what they're trying to take is bring out a certain message between the two there where she says, yes, I might not be your wife. Reason being, he has told her that there's a provision and I have used that and I've gone and got myself a divorce is what he says. So I'm led to believe that there is one. But later, which I have taken your lordship through those messages, it says, give me a divorce, come to India and sign it, and then I will give you the Dubai house. That is when she realizes that that was a fabricated document or a lie or whatever she was led to believe. And now he's pushing her to give her the divorce in Dubai. The dates are critical here. What they're trying to say is that my DV is an afterthought. In fact, it's quite the contrary. I have sent 2 legal notices before any of this transpired. One in November 2023, asking him to refrain from all his threats and asking him to even provide some kind of assistance in monetarily. Second, the moment that notice came, he doesn't reply. Instead, he calls and says, both your daughter and you will find yourself dead. Better agree to what I have stated. Second notice then comes in. After the second notice comes, now the MC petition your lordship is served, upon me on 23/20/24. That is in the record in the family court. On 20th, I am served. The DV that I filed was on 7/3. So I have filed the
After the
DV.
filing of the DV petition, this is filed.
No, this was filed probably earlier, but I have received notice
Notice,
of it
okay.
on 20th, whereas my DV was filed on 7th. But my legal notices were in the previous year in November, during which time they proceeded to file the MC petition, Your Lordship. So it's quite the contrary. Your Lordship, might I also request Your Lordship to kindly see page 63.
Hmm.
This is what they've referred to, stating, after the wedding in Russia in 2011, they straight away came here and registered under the Special Marriage Act.
Hmm.
Kindly see the photograph.
Hmm.
That itself reveals that there was a Hindu marriage.
Oh, and because he's wearing that. Okay.
And if it is a reception, they don't, Your Lordship. There's a difference in North Indian weddings. During the Bharat and the wedding is when they wear the peta and where the lady wears her head gear.
Hmm.
That is not there during a reception.
Hmm.
So as Your Lordship normally says, self-goal in certain matters, this is one of them. So there was a wedding. Subsequent to it, this was registered, and a wedding in Embassy School. Practically who's who of Bangalore were there. A very grand one to say. And
2011.
2014.
What is 11?
11 is in Russia, it was registered. Your Lordship, from 2008, both of them have been
So
together
2014, you get married here according to.
in India. And it is under the
Where is
special.
the certificate of registration of that marriage?
That marriage, they have produced, Your Lordship.
2014.
2014.
Ah,
No, there's no.
that is what I'm asking. No. The senior counsel said 2014, you get married here. You don't register that marriage here.
After the Indian wedding, this is the marriage registration.
Indian wedding happens when?
A few days before this, Your Lordship. This is 16th. This is registered on 24th of
Oh,
May
this is 14,
2014.
2014 itself. Correct,
Yes.
you're right.
And they have a marriage about 16th.
All right.
16th of May.
The certificate
April,
is 2014 only.
Please,
Yes.
please.
This is of a marriage already solemnized.
No, that's all right.
And therefore, to state that that was the only wedding is untrue. This is the wedding that has taken place. Your Lordship, may I also kindly see page 72.
Yes.
Your Lordship, before that, page 63. Kindly see the witnesses. The hue and cry created last time, that I will come to.
Why witness is what?
Necessary.
It is not unnecessary because this would be the entire crux of the matter, because we have to show that this mutual consent that they claim that was filed in India was not, Your Lordship. Kindly go to page 72.
No, what did you say about the witnesses?
Your Lordship, that would have a bearing on who filed this mutual consent case, even without her presence, Your Lordship.
But if that is being
Page
but I think
70.
it's a serious issue, my lord.
Page
Because
7.
if my learned friend is relying upon those paragraphs that I showed to your lordships about allegations made against counsel,
They
then
started
my
it.
lord, it's a serious issue.
They started it. I
I
have to
will let
respond.
me be
If they
clear
don't
about
want
that
to
one,
go into
I
it,
mean,
I will also stop.
Yes.
I will not go further if they don't want to push it further.
No,
But if
where have they gone against the council?
No, they have not. All that they stated in their paragraphs is that that entire MC petition was concocted. It was filed when she was not there and later conveniently withdrawn. And Your Lordship, I'll take Your Lordship to page 72. Your Lordship may kindly see. This is the MC petition in 2020. 17/6/2020, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Now, if Your Lordship turns to the next page, the verifying affidavit. 3/3/2020. 3/3/2020, she files her verifying affidavit, notarized before a notary, but it is filed on 17/6/2020, 3 months later.
Hmm.
Reason being, 3/3 is the date given, and this whole thing is registered and notarized in view of the fact that they calculate when she was in the country, and therefore this date is put. But when it was filed, it was actually 17/6.
3/3?
3/3 and 17/6. 3 months later, normally a verifying affidavit.
From 24/3, for 3 months, courts were closed. COVID.
True, that is what I'm coming to. So, 2020, now they say, in view of the COVID period, we could not proceed with it. And
That said so, is it?
Your Lordship may go to their petition. Well, I will.
All right, yes.
So, what they claim now is that we filed an MC petition, but it was upon her insistence He claims that it's respondent who insisted, let's go to the embassy in Dubai and let us register it there. And then they say there was an application filed here in this MC petition, mutual consent, asking to be advanced. Then they say they did not pursue it in view of COVID. And then they say later on, it was dismissed for non-prosecution 2 years later. Now, if they say that it was upon her insistence that the embassy was filed, she would have come and completed this.
So the crux of his submission is the divorce has not happened in accordance with law.
Absolutely.
So
And your
the DV petition is maintainable.
DV is maintainable. Now, for a minute, let's assume that they say that there was some such the marriage which I have to dispute. Whether the courts have clearly held that whether there's a subsisting marriage or even after a divorce, if a lady is still troubled by her husband, she is still entitled to. So as a worst case scenario also, I would still be entitled to maintain the domestic violence petition. Here is a matter where now they have read only paragraphs where it says that there was torture only in Dubai, nothing in India. She very clearly states that she caught him red-handed. This whole issue is only because of his infidelity, nothing else. And your lordship, if they seem to portray this lady in one of those typical stereotypes of a Russian woman, stating that she's after his money. No, she has filed a restitution. If there is a restitution, where is the question of any of this amount, your lordship? If he consents to that, I have not asked for any of that. We have filed the restitution. Now they claim that the restitution also was an afterthought. No, she filed her domestic violence. She's just asked him to refrain. But going by all the documents, it just seems to be a very toxic marriage, which is on and off. They seem to have a very good time. They seem to have a very bad face. In my sir, your lordship may kindly take.
Sir, rebuttal.
Please, your lordship.
Sir, rebuttal.
Please.
No.
I'll go to the
Photograph.
judgments later, your lordship. This is,
Judgments idea.
I have extracted portions of it in the sir, but I will hand it over separately, your lordship. Your lordship, contrary to their claims that I never came to India later, and their stated, each of those paragraphs have been addressed with proof. Page 37 onwards are all these seals and stamps every time she entered India. Your lordship, next is at page 44 onwards, your lordship.
Photographs.
Your lordship, this is on his birthday on 18/2/2023. 18/2/2023. The next one is, this is when they arrived back from Maldives, your lordship, earlier in our memo of documents.
So
I had
that
showed
message
that
is-
this is after her return. Now they claim that the flight details that have produced is incorrect. She did not land in Bangalore. She landed in Delhi. And this, your lordship, is arrival in Bangalore from Delhi on 25th June. And these are the photographs where their friend had a baby. And both of them have gone there to congratulate them at page 45. Both of them are husband and wife with a small baby there.
All right.
Next is page 46. 28 June 2023. Attended a family gathering. This is with the family, your lordship, all of them together at Ganganagar on 28th June, your lordship, 2023. Have you written this? You're not written?
Yes.
If your lordship permits later, I will just ask him to write down the dates to the side, your lordship, just to
No,
assist.
you just give a synopsis of
Please,
dates
I
and
shall do
events.
that. I shall do that. Below that at page 46 is on 10/12/2022. This was again in Four Seasons, Bangalore. Next one at 47 is Maldives at June 2023 together. From this, after this is when they arrived in Delhi. The next one, your lordship, is 10th of February 2023, your lordship, last year. This is 48. 49, your lordship, may kindly see.
I'm at 49.
This is at Dubai, they have a holiday. Now trying to say that she separated, she went and she lived separately in Dubai and claiming desertion. Your lordship, page 51.
WhatsApp messages.
This is what now they have selectively given.
The whole thing you have produced.
We have produced this,
Yes.
and your lordship may kindly see, beating me, asking me for a divorce at page 53. And when we're going to consulate, I knew it's not their responsibility. That's why I went. You paid the guys to get it done. She states it very clearly. And she knows later on, by way of the memo of documents that I've produced, which are subsequent to this, where he tells her, give me a divorce. Now, your lordship, that memo of documents to show the domestic violence, your lordship, that should be sufficient to establish prima facie. as we say, Your Lordship, they have taken us extensively towards whether there was a marriage, whether there was no marriage. And with respect to the child, I shall just clarify, in 2011, when they were dating from 2008 to 2011, he says, she's my daughter. And so he voluntarily goes there and puts his name in her birth certificate stating that she's my daughter. And now to say that that just goes into the root of what a person could be, irrespective of their strained relationships between a man and a woman, if he has taken her as his daughter from then, now to say the daughter of some man, that just goes to show what kind of a person. Your Lordship, might kindly see the memo of documents, Your Lordship.
No, we should be on
Just on the technicality.
entertainability of the
Absolutely.
DV Act before
Please,
the concerned court.
please. Page 32 of the list of documents, Your Lordship.
30,
Page 32.
the WhatsApp message. WhatsApp messages.
Please, Your Lordship. Hope you're okay to take the house and change your mind and Natalie passport and sign the divorce papers in India. This is what he has asked her.
All right.
Page 28. This is the most repulsive act of a person to state.
Page 28.
28.
Mm.
You might celebrate your birthday in Bangalore. I'm going to drag this till you become old, and Natalie, that's the daughter, will never have money to enjoy her youth unless she finds a rich man like you did. For that, you know what she has to do.
That's all right. No.
And then she berates him, stating,
Oh,
how can you call the daughter now?
Entertainability, but
Maintainability, Your Lordship. At continuously what she tells him is, you have left me with no money. Your Lordship, may
no,
kindly
the
go to
contention is both of you are separated in terms of the Russian law. The contention.
contention.
Contention is that you've separated in terms of Russian law. The marriage also had taken place in terms of Russian law, and later on they registered here or whatever it is. And all the incidents that are now being narrated have all happened in Dubai, is what is said.
I shall
No,
produce well,
that
please.
is all said.
Please.
Now that is why we'll just concentrate on the entertainability of the petition before the DB court. Not going what is he, how
Page
is he,
42.
how much money he has.
Page 42.
Ah,
You did raise your hands in me, and if you don't remember, you put a gun on my head. Now I've read the provisions.
where did this happen?
Your Lordship, this,
Dubai?
one of it, the raise hands is here, and Dubai putting a gun on her head is Dubai.
Okay.
Your Lordship,
Hmm.
all of this is sufficient to, one, show mental cruelty, physical cruelty. Thirdly, economically draining her out, completely stating you will not have a penny. Your Lordship, at page 5 of that very document,
Hmm.
Embassy Group's hospitality businesses received a boost with Jitu Virmani's
But
children,
this
Natalie, which I've
This
shown.
told me.
Yes.
Hmm.
So therefore, she took over the reins of the business. Certain businesses were handled by her. The respondent herein, that is the wife, has signed several documents where she is one of the any of the board members, the directors, whatever. He threatens that in Dubai, he's going to have one of those cases wherein there is some kind of a fraud in the company. So she very cleverly says, which means you'll have to bring your sister down too, because the sister is also part of it. And that's where he's trapped. He's not able to do it. Your Lordship, as I had also mentioned, that's of course a matter of another trial wherein a false case was filed as against her with respect to drug peddling or whatever. The moment this petition, after it came before Your Lordship, that Your Lordship had stated that she will cooperate with the investigation, that matter. This
Oh, yeah. Oh, you told me this. Yes.
please.
Hmm.
And this was all done the moment
That's the
this,
contention.
that is my, just the way they have several other contentions. This is my contention. The only difference is there's factually correct over here. Your Lordship, might I?
Confidence. Yes.
Your Lordship, the rejoinder and the response, Your Lordship, also with respect to the Dubai divorce, all of that, Your Lordship, I might mark the pages and give so that I don't take your Lordship further in this.
No more further.
No further, Your Lordship. I'm closing. I'm
yes.
closing it. Your Lordship, with respect to the Sir, Your Lordship, I'll just take out only those judgments. I will only hand it over. I'll just read
Yes.
those. I've noticed, Your Lordship, in every matter, I'll get less than 1/10 of the time. And yet I will not grumble.
Okay, you want me to take it tomorrow? I'll
No,
take it.
no, not
Yes.
at all. I'll wrap it
No
up, Your
problem.
Lordship. Your Lordship, at page
No,
9.
we'll take it tomorrow, man. You continue tomorrow.
Either I'll wrap it up, Your Lordship. I'll just read
No,
out
no,
those
you can
judgments.
wrap it up tomorrow.